So in the last session, we were looking at C style of printing. Now let's look at format printing. So if you look at this string with dot format, you see these flower brackets. So they will be replaced with whatever is there in the dot format, right? So this is a string. Welcome to flower brackets training of flower brackets language. So this will be replaced with this one, and this will be replaced with this string in the dot format, string dot format. Right? You can directly say string dot format. The reason this syntax is valid. So if you look at it, I can say a equal to this string, right? And I can say either I can do this or I can even do this. This is also valid. So here, this string, whenever you see a dot in any programming language, it means that the thing on the left side of the dot is an object. So we will learn what object is when we do object-oriented programming, but just a rule of thumb. In any programming language, when you see a dot, the thing on the left side of the dot is an object. Okay. So here from this object, technically what it means is from this object, you can extract or you're using this method or function that also comes later. So that's what it means. OK, so now if I use this string dot format, so this will be replaced with this string. This will be replaced with this. You can also put it in variables and you can even give variable names. Right, site name equal to that in the dot format section. Here we are using positional, meaning it starts from this to this. So this is position 0 and this is position 1. You can even specify the position. You can flip the position. This is clear, right? Is it self-explanatory or any confusion? In this string, I'm using dot format and 0. The whole thing will be replaced with this and the whole thing will be replaced with that. If I swap these two, let's say I put 1 and 0. So Python will come here and Tinyshed will go here. Make sense? Any confusion in the dot format? This is positional parameters. Here we are using position to pass the values. This is named parameter. So instead of position, instead of empty, you can use it with empty flower bracket with a number in it or with a name in it. This name is just nothing but a variable name that we are passing to the format. This is positional. This is named. Named parameter and positional parameter. Parameters are inputs to anything. Like, in this case, these are inputs to your string, right? Parameters or arguments, they both are the same. We can give named and positional parameters arbitrarily, meaning I can combine both of them. Here this is position 0, right? And here I'm giving a name. This is syntactically valid, but this should not be used. You pick one, either pick a numbered or named. Don't mix and match. Even though it works, one will not work, only 0 will work, right? Is this clear? Any confusion in any of these? It's pretty simple, right? Please stop and ask if you do not understand. So so this is the last one, right? This side teaches 0 is tinyshed.com, language is Python name. So something failed here. Let's figure out what went wrong here. Else string. It's print, right? Not pring. So it's not even language name, it's this variable name. Yeah. So this is called f string. So what f string does is you put an f in front of a string and this flower bracket will be replaced by this variable name. Whatever you declare variable names on the top, you don't need to use dot format. So this implies dot format. This is just a shortcut of the dot format. Make sense? You put f in front of a string And in the flower brackets, you just put the variable names and this thing will be gone. The flower bracket will never be printed. Clear? That's the output for the last line in the bottom. Any questions?
None.
Now let's look at printing variables. It's pretty obvious. I have 3 variables. So this means this is an assignment operator. This is not called equal to. The right programming term is assignment operator. The value on the right is assigned to the variable on the left. On the left, you should always have variables. On the right, you may have values or variables. Make sense? You can also say var string equal to var float. This is also value. I mean, this value will go and sit here. OK. And the interesting thing is there is no data type associated with a variable in Python. Meaning, let's say in Java or other programming languages, if I say int a equal to 1 and string b equal to like ABC, for example, right? I cannot say b equal to a because b is a string, a is an integer, right? But in Python, it doesn't matter. In Python, the data type of the variable. So what is the data type of this variable in line 3?
Decimal.
It's a decimal, right? So the data type of the variable will be determined at the time of assignment. You can create a variable within, you can start creating a variable by using a particular data type and later you can change it to another data type. So these are all scalars in Python or any of these scripting languages. Same applies for Ruby, Python, Perl, Unix shell scripting, right? All these programming languages, they don't enforce data types on any variables. PHP, right? So this is also valid, but the general rule of thumb again, when you're using assignment operator is the right side can be two things. One is a variable and a value. So using the word value is very important. A value can be anything. It can be string, integer, float, whatever, right? And on the left side, it has to be a variable. It cannot be anything else. You cannot say 1 equal to 2. That doesn't make sense. Both are values, right? This is invalid. Make sense? 1 is never equal to 2. Or you can't assign 2 to 1. You can say a1 equal to 2, that becomes a variable. Clear? What does the print statement with comma do? Remember, I told you in the previous session. Comma will do what in a print?
Space.
It will give a space, so the output will be with spaces, right? So here I think we already did this where, the last assigned value, this will not change the value of a. This will be 52, but again, if you print a, it'll still be 30, right? So this we already did. If you have any questions, let me know. I can run it. You can test it out. So the code, I think I already put it, but let me be sure if I did it already or no. And put the entire code, but I'll just paste the entire code today. But whatever is there in your in here, I'll just put that. At least I'll start with core language. Now, there is one special thing that Python supports in a string. Raw is basically the same string, like general strings are raw strings or ASCII strings. You don't need to put R in front of that. But if you want to Unicode something, Unicode means you can print non-English characters. Right, non-English characters like beta is a non-English character, right? It's a Greek symbol. That's not B but beta, right? So you can print these. You can actually print these to screen using Unicode encoding. So if you encode it into Unicode, you can do that. So you see here, I have printed the special character beta in terminal. This is possible through Unicoding. So this you might not encounter too often, but this is just a nice to know thing. Okay, this is how you use it in a print statement. Let's move on to the next one. Variables, we know we can use that. Declaring variables in different types. So here you can semicolon, as I said, this symbol is called semicolon, that is optional. This is double quotes, right? You can declare a string variables in both double quotes and single quotes. But whatever you start with, you have to end with that, right? So this is like single quote, that's like double quote. Multi-line strings, let's say you have multi-line strings, what do? You use, I think we will do that in strings, I'll show you that. You can declare a variable like this, you can delete a variable, but once you delete a variable and you reuse it, it'll throw an error. Right? I declared the variable 1 equal to 4. Now I'm even assigning variable 2's value, which is test, to variable 1, right? Because variable 2 here is test. And I'm assigning it to variable 1. If I delete it, I cannot use it after I delete it in the code, but I can use it before I delete it, like printing it or using it in assignment or whatever, right? Makes sense? But the moment you delete and use it, it'll throw an error. Clear? You can also declare a variable like this. You can say var1 equal to var2 equal to 100, means both of the variables value is 100. Clear? This declaration self-explanatory. So I have var 100, var 200. This comma this equal to this value comma this value, meaning 100 will go and sit in here in this variable, 200 will sit in this variable. This is also another way to declare and create your variables. Any questions?
No.
So operators, these are adding, subtracting, dividing, right? So to get reminder, you use the modulus operator, the percentage symbol. The divided by will give you the quotient. Division has two outputs, right? It has a reminder and a quotient. To get the quotient, you use this. To get the reminder, you use this. Clear? Now, if you want to do to the power of 4 square is, you do 2 stars. Multiply is only 1 star. So augmented assignment means a plus equal to 4 means a equal to a plus 4. Right? What is the value of a? All the way on the top. A is 1, right? I started off with 1. Here, I'm saying a plus equal to 4. This means it is a equal to a plus 4. So what is the current value of a? 1 plus 4 is 5. So the answer is 5. Make sense? Augmented assignment. The same thing will also work for multiplication. Star equal to b star equal to 4 means b is 2. So b equal to 2 into 4, which is 8. Is this clear?
Clear.
Yeah.
So if you multiply a string with a number, so this is s star equal to 3 means s into 3, right? So string into number will repeat it 3 times. Clear? So because this is hyphen, hello hyphen, so that's why you see hyphen, hello hyphen, so on, and so forth. Clear? This is pretty simple, right? Augmented assignment with string rather than a number and number. String and number. It'll repeat n times, right? How many hour is this? It'll repeat those many times. No questions, right?
No.
So we did that, we did this. So let's see. So now I have two variables, a equal to 1 and b equal to -2. I want to swap these two. How do we write the code? So the first solution will be to use another what do you call variable, right? So here, before swap and after swap, I'm printing the value. So if I want to move the value of a into b and value of b into a, that's the idea of swapping, right? So here you can use this variable c and you can say a equal to c, a equal to b, and b equal to c. That way, you can do you can do this, right? Make sense?
Can you please repeat this? I did not understand. Sorry.
Okay, let me explain again. So the objective is so I want to swap the values of A and B. I have two variables A and B. So -2 should go into A and 1 should go into B. How will we do it? So the easiest way is you can create a variable C, right? Assign A to C, then assign B to A, then assign C to B. Is this clear?
Yeah.
You understood the problem?
Yeah.
You understood the solution?
Yes.
Abhi?
Yes, I got it now. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's say you're not allowed to use another variable. What will you do? How will you solve that? So you can add A and B and assign it to A, and you can do this subtraction and then you can derive A and B like this. This is one way to do it. Okay. So the idea is whatever you do should work for both negative and positive numbers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the same thing we are trying to do for string swapping. Okay, because I didn't teach you this, don't go there yet. We will look at strings right away. But this is clear, right? Without that variable. So I'm adding A plus B and I'm assigning it to A. Then I'm saying A minus B and assigning it to B. Then again A minus B and assign it to A. So that way, without the third variable C, you can achieve swapping. Is this clear? Any confusion?
Can't we just reassign the integers to the variables, pertaining variables as we want? Will it not override the earlier?
It will override when the moment you assign, it will override, right? But what I'm
Mhm.
doing is I'm adding, right? If I add these
Okay.
two, what will happen? It'll be -1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I do -1, -2.
3.
-3.
-3.
No,
Yeah.
minus into minus is plus. -1 plus 2 is 1. B is still -2. Remember, minus of -2 is +2. A is -1. So what is the value of B? It becomes 1.
Yeah.
Clear? Now to get to put the objective is I'm putting this number in this and this number, the value of this into this and the value of this into that. So using mathematical operators, you can do it as long as these are integers, it will work. Assumption is they have to be integers without using a third variable. Clear? Any confusion? So string swap we'll do later. So you can do this later after you understand the strings. Clear, right? This is clear.
One doubt.
Clear.
I'm sorry. But the value of b comes to a minus b if you put a minus b. The value of it comes to 3, right? Or is it 1?
No.
If is it minus 1,
Okay, what
then
is,
yes.
look at this. What is a? First time here, what happens? What
It
this
comes
is
to 1.
1. So basically, what is this? 1 plus minus 2.
Minus 1 is the answer.
Minus 1 is the answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here what happens? A is what? A is
1.
minus 1, right? Because in this
Oh,
step,
okay.
A
We are
became minus 1.
reassessing. Yes, yes.
Minus
Okay.
1 minus of what is B?
Yeah, got it now. Yeah,
Minus 2. So this is equal to 1
1.
because minus of minus will become plus.
Yes,
Clear?
yes. Yeah.
A is what? A is again minus. A is now still minus 1. Then minus of B becomes 1.
Mm-hmm.
That is equal to minus 2. Clear?
Yes. Good. Yes. Yeah.
So Ritesh, any questions?
None.
Okay. So we'll come to strings. Strings can be declared, as I said, start with double quotes, end with double quotes, start with single quote, end with single quote. For multi-line strings are strings that have an enter symbol, right? For multi-line strings, remember comments. Comments is also 3 double quotes, right? So you can give comments in 3 double quotes, but if you assign it to a variable, that becomes a multi-line string. Make sense? So here I have this multi-line string, then I have this single quote and double quote strings, and I'm printing them. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So if this is a string, the index of the string will start with 0. See, this is a multi-line comment, right? I'm commenting this, or I'm going to remove the comments here. So basic string functions, let's say if I do string of 0, this string of 0 is this, the first character. Okay. Length will give you the total number of characters. Minus 1 will give you the last character. 0 will give you the first character from the left. Minus 1 will give you the last character from the right. Okay. Now 13 will do what? Again, if you take this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? It will give you the last one. Clear? So let's test it out. It'll give you P. This one is giving you P. The length will give you 14. Length of, either you can do length of a variable or you can do length of the string itself. You can even put the same string and do length. The same thing, right? Minus 1 will give you the last character, L. 13 is also the last character. 13 or minus 1 is the same in this case. Length minus 1 will be what? 0 to 12, right? Even that will also be the last one. More than that or equivalent to that will give you the same. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what, these are the basic string operations. Now to get the fourth character from the end, you can say minus 4. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Clear? That is why you got letter C. So I'm putting this string, comma will put a space, but there is one space here. That's why you see 2 spaces here. And minus 4 will give you the last character. Clear? Any confusion?
Got it.
Let's do string slicing. So now I have this thing. If I do 6:, so this is called colon, right? So this is called semicolon, right? There's a difference between semicolon and colon. So a colon operator in a square bracket will say 6 to end of string. So what is 6 to end of string here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from here till end of string, including this, in fact. Right? End of string will go to the end. -4 to end of string. What will it print?
From reverse. From C to end of the string.
Which is cool, right?
Cool. Yeah.
10 to 14. Again, the word cool.
Cool.
Okay. 4 to 10. It'll be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So this is 4. Include this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It will not print 10. So this is called lower bound and upper bound. It will ignore this, but it will include this. Okay. So you know the position using indexes, right? And you know slicing. Clear? If you go beyond, how many positions are there here? Can you tell me the
4.
position? Wrong. 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. It's not 4. It starts from 0, right?
Yeah.
0, 1, 2, 3. So if I say 5 to 7, it doesn't print anything. It will not throw an error. So slicing will not throw an error. But if you go beyond your position, it will max positions that you can achieve. It will not throw an error. Clear?
Yeah.
Abhi, any questions?
No, nothing.
Now let's do an assignment in strings. So let's say I give you this email. Okay. Now using these positions, how can you print Gmail? So I want using only this variable email. You should do that. So what is the step 1 that you want to do? Let's figure out what we can do. What is this? This is between what and what in any email ID?
At the rate and the dot.
At the rate and the dot after at the rate.
Yeah.
It should be very precise. Okay. So this is how you get experience, right? I'll keep on correcting you. You're right, but you're not complete. So at the rate and the first dot after the at the rate, that's what you want. So how do I get at the rate? To get at the rate, I need to teach you something else in between. I'm sorry. I need to teach you find. So you can do find and index will get you the position of the first occurrence of the character in a string. If you don't find anything, it will get you not, it will get you -1. Okay. So index and find are the same, but index is more efficient, except that if you find something, if you want to find something that is non-existent in a string, it will throw an error. So to get the at the rate, you need to do find. Right? So we will get the find as the first step. Find will get you the position. Right? So I'm printing that position. Email.find at the rate is in which position? It's in 11. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right? So now, what do you want to do? How do I find the dot? If I find the dot, then what will I get? I'll get this, right? I don't want that. I want this dot. So what can you do?
Finding the dot position again.
I mean,
What does this do?
Okay.
If you don't specify the upper bound, what happens?
It's gonna print the whole string.
End of the string from this position, right?
Yeah.
So we can say create a clean string, right? So you can get from at to, so I'm putting this at position, right? From the email from at position to end of string. What will that give me from here till here, right? I can slice it.
Yeah.
Now clean string will be from here till here. Now instead of email, I'll say in clean string, find the dot. Clear?
Yeah.
So only in this part of the string, I'll find the dot. Find will get me the first position of dot, even though there are two dots. Let's say I say dot com dot in or something. It will only get me the first occurrence. Clear? Any
Clear.
confusion? So now if I find this position, I'll call it dot position. Right? Is this clear? So from here till dot position, find will give me that number, right? So from here, what will be this number? Start from here. So assuming that this is position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what will this be? Make sense?
Yeah.
Now I'm giving you this. You have this string. What is this string? Clean string, right? Because clean string is at position 2 end of string. Is this clear? So now I'm giving you the whole thing. Now tell me, how will you, from this string, I'm giving you this position, you know this position. To print this, what will you do? Clean string is what? Clean string is this. I printed it here, right? Clean string, line 14.
1
Now
to
tell
5.
me from this string, I want this. What will you do? And I'm giving you this position. Forget about everything else.
1:5.
1 colon, the
5.
dot position.
Okay.
Not that, but the dot position, because this will ignore. 5 will be ignored. Remember, upper bound will be ignored. So what should I print? Clean string of what? Starting from where?
1 colon dot position.
There you go. Make sense?
Yes.
This should work for any email address, right? Let's say I change it to the new email address. This is the last assigned value to this variable, right? Last assigned value will be taken, even if I don't need to comment that. Clear?
Yes.
It should work. I'll take another email address. Clear?
Clear.
Yeah.
That's it. Coding is as easy as difficult as this. So what we learned in the basics, we are applying to solve problems. So this is what we'll be doing. We'll take a look at some coding, but just learning coding is useless, right? You need to know how to solve problems. That's the key. So this is one of it, a simple example. All right, so case is pretty obvious. Dot upper will convert the string to upper. You can directly use it in, you can put the string in a variable and put it, or you can directly say string dot upper, because string is also an object, as I said, right? This variable will become an object because the value is a string. Upper will create everything to upper, lower will create everything to lower. So lower learn upper Python, everything will be lower, everything will be upper. Title means only the first character will be upper. Swap case means lower will become upper, upper will become lower, right? So these are pretty obvious. Capitalize means the first in the sentence will become uppercase. If you put a dot and start the string again, so only the first line, first character of the word, first character of the first word will be upper. So that's capitalize. So is upper, is lower will print a Boolean. Boolean is another data type. So we learned the data types that we learned as string, integer, and decimal, right? So Boolean is another data type in programming languages, and Boolean has only two values. It either has a true or a false. So this is going to print you true or false. And remember, Boolean true or false is not string true. It is not a string true. Remember, it is a value true. There's a difference between string true and value true. OK. So it has uppercase T and uppercase F for true and false. So there's only two values for a Boolean. Is upper will print true or false. So these are all Boolean values that you see is that. So it'll also check for numeric, it'll check for white. Is space means it is empty. Space is space and tab basically, or even new line character will come under this. So here I want to demonstrate A is Boolean, B is string, because I didn't put double quotes or single quotes around this, remember, right? So that's important to know. We'll use it in if condition when we do that in maybe one day. When we come to the conditions, then you'll understand that. Is this clear? These all are self-explanatory. So strip function will remove, if I do this strip, this white spaces or spaces will be gone in a string. If you do strip of T means the letter lowercase match T will be gone on either sides, on this side and this side of the string, left and right of the string. L strip will only strip on the left side. It will remove whatever is there. If you don't supply anything to it, it will remove spaces. If you supply something, that as long as it matches, that will be removed. Clear? R strip is right, L strip is L. So this is again very self-explanatory. Clear? Any questions on this? So try that. R strip, L strip, you can do. Justification is again very simple. L just take this string and justify to 10. What does that mean? See, if I do look at this print statement. So this is the output of the print statement, right? Name, ABC, phone number, so and so. Now I'm justifying 6 rjust, meaning you see name and ABC are at the same level. The spacing here and here are different, right? So if I do ljust, what happens? You see the difference between this, this, and this. The spacing is proper so that the whole thing is in line. Here, there's only one space. The regular comma is only one space. Here I'm left justifying that, meaning this whole thing is 6 characters max. This whole thing is 6 characters max, and then I'm printing with a space, comma gives a space. That's why I'm printing these values. Here I'm doing rjust, meaning move the actual word to the right and fill it with spaces. Clear? Of justification. Here I'm just showing you with instead of spaces, I'm putting plus and I'm showing you rjust, center, and justification. Ljust, rjust, and center. is only used for printing. Clear, right?
Yes.
Search, you can again look at it. There's a couple of variations. I think you can easily figure it out. Excuse me. So let's start with lists. Today I'll complete lists, and then I want to see if, if you, Abhi, did you install all the software? No, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'll help you with that after the session. Okay.
Yeah.
So list is see, what is a variable? Variable is only one value, right? You can only put a single value in it. But let's say you want to put a bunch of values, then you're going to use list. List is like square bracket open, and you're going to put a bunch of values and assign it to a variable. And that variable becomes a list. Okay. Just like a string, the position of this is 0, 1, 2, and 3. Right? As you can see, I put the positions there. So this is the value, and that's the position. If I say list of 3, then you're going to get the third position, 0, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to get 99. Is this clear? Any questions in 14 and 16?
No, nothing.
You can create an empty list using variable equal to square bracket open and close. That's an empty list. You can add an element to a list using append method. So as I said, dot means it's this is an object, right? So list is also an object, just like a string. So list has these methods or functions. We'll talk about them later. So maybe in a couple of days, we'll go to functions. So this function will add an element, and it will add an element to the end of the list. Since this has no elements, one is in which position in my list? Position 0, 1, 2, 3, which one? Are there any elements here? No, right? It's an empty list.
No.
So one will go and sit in which position?
0.
0. So one will become position 0. The value is 1. Position 1, the value is 100. Position 2, the value is 1000. Clear? So here position 0, 1, and the more keep on appending, and it will keep on adding to the end of the list. If it is an empty list, the end of the list is position 0. Clear? So you can extend, meaning extending, you can add a bunch of more values from a list by using extend. So here I'm appending one value at a time. I can extend this list with some other list values using extend. So the difference between extend and append is extend will use another list. So I'm adding this list elements in here. So this becomes a long list. Clear? Line 32.
Yeah.
Another advantage of list is compound, meaning in a single list, you can have different data types. You can have numbers, integers, strings, whatever, mix and match. Doesn't matter, it'll work. It's not that you only have to have one data type in all the elements. You can put whatever data types you want. Clear? And here, if I say 0, what will I get in this? I'm going to get this element, right? Value at position 0. Is this clear?
Yeah.
All right. Here I'm adding an element. Insert means insert at position 0, means in position 0 put 99. So rest of the values will move. Right? Initially empty list, I'm putting something. When I'm putting 99 in 0, all the elements will move. This 1 will become to position 1, 2 will come to position 2, and so on. Append will add it in the end. Insert will add it in the position that you specify. Append will add it in the end that you already know. So if you want to update a value, So test list of 1, I'm updating to 100. So let's say this is your list, right? When I say 1 equal to 100, earlier it is position 1, the value is 1. But position 1, here I'm saying value is 100. So it became 100 the next time when I print it again. Is this clear? Line 23. And that's the output after line 23. Earlier, position 1, the value is 1, right? But I'm saying 1 equal to 100, meaning this position's value, not this value. This is position 0, this is position 1. Change position 1 to 100. That's why the 1 became 100. Clear? Any questions?
No, none.
Okay. Delete position 1 means it will remove the value from that. Here you're changing change this position's value to new value. Delete means remove it. Clear? Slicing, just like string slicing, the same thing will work. Ignore the upper bound, include the lower bound. Okay. You can even change a bunch of values to new values. Earlier, master list has something else, but now this is the master list, but I'm changing these two or maybe 3 to some new values. You can even do range of value updates like this. Is this clear? Any confusion? Line 55.
No.
Length of list, min, max, sum. So this is the list, right? New list. What is the min element here? What is the max element? Sum means it'll add everything. Sum is applicable only if all the values of the list are integers. For compound list, it will not work. If you have integers and strings and something, sum is not applicable. Sort will sort in ascending order, and this is a permanent change. It's not just for display. Right? It will make sure the changes are permanent. It will reorder the values of the list. Okay. Count will count the value. When I say count of 4, how many 4s are there here? The value 4. Right? Insert, you already know it will insert at position 1, insert that new value. Remove is just like delete of a position or remove of the position will remove that. I think this will remove it'll remove the value. Sorry, this is not position. Count and remove our values. It'll try to remove 4. But the first occurrence only. Let's say you have 5 4s, it'll only remove the first occurrence of 4. These things are not dealing with positions. These things are dealing with the values, not the index or position. Clear? Del will deal with the position. Remove will deal with the value. Any questions?
No.
Reverse will reverse the list. This is again a permanent change, meaning that if you do dot reverse and if you print it, it's already changed permanently. Okay, it's not for display. It'll change it. Even if you print it, it'll change it. Remember. Pop will remove the last element. Pop of 0 will remove the element at this position. It'll remove. There's nothing to do anything. It'll just remove, and that's also a physical change, meaning it is not for display. It's physical. It's actually removing it from your list. The changes are permanent after you do these operations. Sort, reverse, and all these things, right? Ascending and descending, that's what it is, right? I mean, you need to sort and reverse for descending order. Reverse will just plainly reverse. But if you want to convert something to ascending, sort is ascending, sort dot reverse. Dot sort dot reverse will do the descending. You can actually put more than one dot. Clear list will remove all the elements from the list. Okay. So these are some other list operations. You can compare two lists like this. If these two are, if you do double equal to is actually equal to, single equal to is assignment, right? So if you say these two are equal, it will print true or false. Loops, ignore it. I didn't teach you that. Don't go there yet. So tuples, this is something you can do. So lists are basically the same thing, right? It's an array of values in a way. You can have a bunch of values and you can do some adding and removing and changing of the values. Tuple is the same, except that you can't change it. You can't remove from it. You can't add to it. You can only get min, max, and slice, and you can only get information from it. It is read only, but not changeable. Clear? So that's a tuple. So look at tuples and set you can learn on your own. I want you to do list, tuples, and sets. Why do you need read only? Any reason? What is the scenario where you'll need read only? Tuple, it's in curved bracket. Instead of square bracket, it's in curved bracket. That's a tuple. Square bracket is a list. If you put bunch of values in curved brackets, it becomes a tuple. Clear? But tuples are immutable, meaning it cannot be changed. It cannot be changed. That's what immutable means. There's some write-up that you can use. Why do you need them? You will need them because there could be data that you should read only. Let's say store addresses or holidays in a calendar. So those you cannot change as a developer, right? You should only use them. So in such data sets where you only want people, other developers to use the data but not change the data, tuples are the way to go. And tuples are very useful in almost all aspects of coding, right? It's not uncommon to use tuples. In fact, we use tuples a lot. Any data that you don't like store, let's say you're dealing with a retail company, store address is not going to change, right? That's going to be fixed. Product names could be fixed. Product prices could be fixed. That's coming from somewhere else. You should not change it. So such data that you don't want to change, you're going to put it in a tuple. You want to use it, but don't want to change it. Clear? So tuples are very, very useful and widely used in almost all business problems. So do till this tuples. I'm going to upload the code and it's also there, and I don't think it's uploaded to Git. I'll ask Rohit to upload it. Currently he did not. I'll just put these in the core language. We'll start with that for now. So it should be in when you go to your Teams, posts will be this. In files, you'll see the recordings and the code. Okay. All right. Any questions for the day? Okay. So Abhi, I'll call you in a bit and then let's figure out, or you can stay back and I will help you with the installation.